today we're diving deep into the surprising, ancient history of one of the world's most beloved instruments, the guitar.
So, you think you know the guitar, right? That symbol of rock and roll, of flamenco, of campfire songs. Well, what if I told you that its story isn't at all what you think it is? Because the journey of this instrument doesn't start in some sun-drenched Spanish courtyard. Nope. Its real story begins thousands of years and thousands of miles away, in the royal courts of ancient Persia.
So let's explore this familiar sound. It's time to uncover its absolutely incredible and, for the most part, forgotten past.
I mean, think about it for a second. Whether you're listening to a blistering rock solo or a gentle classical piece, every single one of those notes carries the DNA of a melody that was first born in the East. It's this direct, unbroken line through history. So where does this story even begin? Well, our journey takes us way back in time to the cradle of the lute, ancient Persia. Okay, meet the Barbat. Just look at its shape, that pear-like body, the short neck. You can totally see how it's a forerunner to the modern guitar, right? And this wasn't some simple folk instrument. This thing was a sophisticated piece of art, and it was central to the culture of Persian royal courts. And the Barbat was incredibly advanced for its time. We're talking as early as 500 BCE, and it already had key features like frets and sound holes, not to mention some pretty sophisticated tuning systems. This wasn't just for playing tunes. It was a symbol of high culture and deep philosophical thought, a cornerstone of royal ceremonies.
You see, for the ancient Persians, music was never just entertainment. It was a reflection of the entire cosmos. They believed the harmony you could create on a barbat's strings actually mirrored the harmony of the universe itself. So a well-tuned instrument was like a connection to the divine. So how did this deeply philosophical instrument make its way out of Persia and into the hands of the entire world? Well, its journey began on the world's most famous trade route, creating what you might call a Silk Road symphony.
It's this amazing 2,000-year evolution, almost like a game of telephone. It starts with the Persian Barbat. As it travels west, it gets adapted into the Arab oud. This instrument then makes its way into medieval Europe, where it becomes the lute. Then, Spanish craftsmen refine the lute into the vihuela, which is pretty much the final step right before the modern six-string guitar is born. You know, we always think of the Silk Road as a path for things like silk and spices, but it was also a superhighway for culture, for ideas, and in our story, for sound. As Persian musicians traveled with the caravans, they carried their music with them, planting the seeds of a new instrument across entire continents. And that journey brings us to the final, crucial destination, the place where this instrument would finally find its modern voice: Spain. Yeah, Spain is where the final transformative steps really happened. The oud arrived with Moorish culture around 711 CE. Spanish craftsmen took this design and refined it into the vihuela. They perfected the body's shape to get a richer tone, and most importantly, they standardized the 6 strings, creating the instrument that we now recognize as the classical guitar. So the instrument we see as the symbol of the Spanish soul, the absolute heart of flamenco, was actually a Persian traveler that had completed a journey of thousands of miles and thousands of years. In Spain, it had finally found its home. So what does all this mean for us today? Let's talk about the instrument's incredible legacy. It's an echo that continues to reverberate right through to our time. And it is no exaggeration to say this, without the design, the philosophy, and the craftsmanship of ancient Persia, the global phenomenon of the guitar, from rock to jazz to folk music, it just would not exist. The Barbat's journey is really about more than just one instrument. It shows how music can transcend borders, empires, and even conflict. It's a testament to how an idea from one culture can be shared, adapted, and eventually become a symbol of global connection. I want to end with this beautiful quote from our source material, because it just says it all so perfectly. Because the sound of Persia never truly faded, it just changed its strings. And that leaves us with one final question. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden histories are waiting to be discovered inside the ordinary things we think we know so well?